Hello, everybody. GC Entertainment. Uh, GC, I guess, is what I should probably introduce myself with. Not really sure. But, yeah, I'm changing over from being gamer to other stuff. Because, basically, I just want to expand my horizons, be able to do other things, not pigeonhole myself, only be able to do one or two things. Because that's the only things that I have available to me. And anyway. So, I have, as of late, been messing around a little bit with Unity, and obviously, I suck at it. As usual with anything that you're just starting out, you suck pretty bad. And, yeah, so I basically wanted to, just have a thing where we can hang out, and I can mess around with this stuff, and we can learn together, if you want. Or if not, you get to watch me flail about inside of this thing and try to actually not do stupid. Which, could probably be entertaining to some people. um, yeah. Yeah, anyway, I was, like, messing around here. This is, something that I'd started up trying to work on, like, particle physics. Because what I wanted to have them do, I wanted to have the two particles attract to each other. Which it does. But I want it to be, like, real gravity, if you know what that is. And Unity, while it has the ability to do this stuff, if you actually want a gravity engine, you're going to basically have to build it yourself. And, again, not really great at it. If I switch over to the other screen here, you can see that I got a little bit of program set up. This is what I'm using right now to attract the two particles together. It's a simple thing. Right now I'm trying to get this vector, distance, times mass, so that it's like actual gravity, in that whenever like they get closer to each other, then they go faster, and whether they're further away, they go slower to each other. Not sure. Honestly, I don't think this even compensates for that, because it doesn't make them slower, it just makes them faster. But then it makes it like that's the baseline speed, and then that's added onto it, which would be the distance mass thing, where it's like the actual gravity of it. Right now, this is more, I guess, the actual thing, because if I just make this multiplied by 0 so that it doesn't do anything right now, then for, like, for whatever reason, this is supposed to be the, oh, what's the name of the theory? Basically, it's, whenever you have two axes, take, like, the first point A minus the second point A, then, or like the first point X, minus the second point X, and then the first point Y minus the second point Y. Add those two together, and then square root that, I think. Or multiply it. I don't know. Something like that. But anyway, it doesn't function, is the problem. So it doesn't function properly, so if we go back over to here, it will not actually do anything if it is updated. Yeah, see, it's not going. Whenever those turn blue, that means it should be going. It's not doing anything because for whatever reason, my formula over on here isn't actually properly made. And I don't really know why that is. Like, it looks like it should work. And obviously, if I were to do just one of these things, that would only be one axis, because this is a vector 3, which means up and down, left and right, forward and backward. That's 3 vectors. 2 vectors would be just up and down and left and right, and you wouldn't have the depth to it. But so this one is one that works separate from that. It doesn't have the gravity added onto it, obviously, but it actually tracks them. But it's always at a constant rate, which isn't what I want. Getting them to move dynamically is probably the hardest part about this thing, because obviously that's a linear movement. Getting the dynamic movement is a lot more complicated. And the attracted to means like whatever whatever I have it set to over here to attract to. So like right there, that the attracted to particle thing, that is what it's being attracted to. So this is particle 1, which is the second particle, and this is particle without anything on it, which is the first one. So this one is attracted to that one, and that one's attracted to this one. I want it to be able to do 3, or like have it be everyone, but I don't know how to create a specific engine for that, where it's everything is all inclusive to everything, so that they're all attracted. I'm just trying to get like 2 particles to get attracted to each other using the physics, and it just really isn't working properly for me. I don't know why. So the spaces in between there aren't actually entirely necessary, but it doesn't change anything in how it functions. And I can add more parentheses and stuff, but I'm pretty sure it's pointless. Because that's the up vector, it's the thing that it's attracted to minus it, thing that's attracted to minus it, over and over and over for up, right, and forward axes, I guess. And yeah, not really sure how to get it to properly function. And obviously I did start this a little bit before the time that the stream was supposed to start, so probably not many people are going to be here, but not that many people come here anyway. I haven't been streaming much as of late, and I'm sorry about that, but I just really haven't been feeling up to it, and like kind of like toned down for me. Not really as much I want to do, and I would love to record like a whole slew of different things, but the problem is this computer is not able to handle recording all that stuff, so it's not gonna like properly work is the problem. So yeah. But anyway, back to this thing. So there are different commands for this. There's add force, add relative force, but relative force is only, all the relative commands only work relative to a parent. And you have 2 objects set up with a parent, then they move together. They can't, like, move separately. I tried setting them up with a parent, but what happens is they end up, like, bouncing back and forth, so they can't move. So it just, like, they try to attack to each other, but it doesn't work properly, so they just end up pretty much staying still. Kind of like what's happening right now, where they're not moving at all. But, yeah. And obviously, I'm sure that, like, my stuff isn't properly working. Use this. Method, rigid body direction. I'm gonna undo that. I have no idea why it wanted me to do that. Extract method. Why is it telling me to do that? It's a new method using the variables RB and distance. Rigid body RB, vector 3 distance. I don't know, maybe that'll help it? Again, not great at programming, not great at doing this stuff, so it's a lot of trial and error basically happens because of the fact that I'm not very good at this. So you probably have to bear with me for a lot of this because I don't know how to do this stuff properly. It's a lot of just me messing around, which is kind of why I was like, yeah, game making, messing around, sure. That'll be the name of the stream. That's basically what I'm doing. It's not really like anything. There, I changed that. Alright. Change that out. Alrighty. There we go. Okay. So I don't really know how to make this stuff function properly. These particles are like literally particle size. I remember getting them to work at some point where they had like an accurate gravity, but for whatever reason, like it stopped functioning, and I don't know why. The new method thing that I just set up seems to be just redundancy and stuff. I don't see why you set that. I'm just gonna do that. The fixed update is supposed to be like before the physics kick in. This kicks in, so this is like a physics object inside of the thing, or not an object. With the, I don't know. Would this count as an object? I don't remember. Counts as something. Something to do with programming. I don't know. I guess I can just go ahead and do. I don't know, because I guess the position minus position is kind of basically all the more I'm trying to do, except it doesn't function properly when I do it like that. So. I set the distance to that. It's obviously not going to be, I mean, I can't add 3 vectors. Maybe if I just did vector 1? Vector. Okay, so you got, well, 2 and 3 are the only ones that are available. 4? I don't even know what 4 is supposed to be. So I have to do a vector 3. Maybe I'll try a plus, which I'm pretty sure that is not correct physics. That is like the opposite of what you want, which is the whole reason why it's probably going to send them flying off into space. But anyway, it's going to get launched out of here. Very much so likely. But let's go ahead and see what the heck happens. Why not? Not like I'm making much progress otherwise. Might as well just watch them launch into space. Whoop, there they go. And there's 2,000, 3,000, 10,000. Okay, yeah, Just constant acceleration out of here. So, obviously, that is not the correct thing to do. Maybe I could do divided by. Multiplied. You can't multiply or divide by coordinates. For whatever reason. Actually, I just go ahead and replace those. Multiply that by 0 again. And can I divide by those? No, I cannot. Cannot be applied to any operands of it. And I obviously can't do plus. Actually, why not try plus? Because theoretically they should just launch it off like it just did. So I want to at least know whether it's functioning at all, or whether what it's happening is it's saying that the attracted to exist in the same spot as the transform of it, so that whenever it does that, it's just canceling itself out. If that would be the case, then this, actually, no matter what, this should launch it. This is just testing whether the formula works at all. Yeah, the formula works. Okay. So what is happening is the 2 particles are according to the formula, I guess, existing in the same spot. I'm not sure exactly how that's supposed to work. Because I guess I can just, like, zoom out and put it, like, way far away. like just in case the formula actually works, that it might be like they can only be in the same spot or something, since they're in the same like whole number integer. It might be that, but it shouldn't be. There we go with the lag again. Every single time I change the formula, because it changes the physics, it just lags out a whole bunch. Yeah, it's still not doing anything. So whatever is happening, as far as I can tell, it's the formula is taking, instead of the attracted to, it's just taking the actual object itself. Somehow. And I don't know why. It's either that or they supposedly exist in the same space. It doesn't make sense, though. It couldn't be... Actually, I need another variable here, because I just realized... But... Track... No. Mass... Track... No. Track... That is not how you spell tract. Attracted to .rb.mass. Does that not work? Game object does not retain a definition for RB and no extension RB. Alright. Guess I'll have to create another variable. Rigid body. Body. RB2 equals get component ridge body dot attracted to? No. Attracted to rigid body. Attracted to does not exist in the current context. Oop. Alt enter. Generate field attracted to. No. Read only. Property. Local. No. 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 Maybe I put it in here. Attracted to. Oh, this is not making sense to me. It's all Greek to me. Right. A component T game object attracted to. Nope. Work. Get components. Rigid body attracted to. Then attracted to. Doesn't function correctly. So how does that work out? No. That is not what I want. Try another fix. A component and parent? No, I don't want the... Why? Why you did this? So I'm going to need to figure out how to do that then. How to get the mass of the object it's attracting to, because it doesn't just rely on the mass of what I am doing. It also relies on the mass of object that it's looking at. This is fun. Oh boy. I would put some music in the background, but it's probably going to copyright me. See. Yeah, whatever. I don't know what to do. Well, that's besides the point. I can't even get the formula to function. Period. Distance. My formula for distance apparently just doesn't function at all. I don't know. Maybe I need it all in parentheses. Doubt this will work, but this, I can't think of what will work, so you know. When in doubt, just try something. If you go through every single possibility, eventually you'll hit the answer right. That's how it works. Yep. Not working. How you not work? How you do this? I do not get it. Not working. Why don't you work? Why don't you work? It looks like a proper formula. Got the up, got the right, got the forward. But it keeps subtracting by itself and I don't know why to enact. I need to get something that is doing something different. Game object attracted to and transform is the one it's due. I don't know why it's doing this. It's not fun and doing this. It's really grinding my gears. I can't do it, and I fear I won't be able to do this. uh, 1 second. Hmm. I really don't know. I guess I should probably be looking through like the different stuff about the different variables in it. The gravity like extract. None of people's things actually work, but get to 3 0. That's just straight off gravity. Um, yeah, that's just a whole bunch of things. Okay, so massive object 1, massive object 2, divided by the distance between the two objects squared. But you can't square or divide vector 3 stuff. So maybe can I square it here? Yeah, can't add it to vector 3 at all. So not sure if you can actually get it to properly work. Mm. Okay, so I need attracted to to be an inside variable object. Or it needs to be a tag, rather. So, back to do equals game object. Find objects with tag. Attracted. Can I convert from Unity game object to string? Because it's already a field, right? True. But it shouldn't be like that now, because why isn't that working? That cannot implicitly turn Unity game object into Unity game object. Game object. Game object dot. I thought it would be that. Find game object tag. Attracted to. There. But if I had an S, then suddenly it doesn't work. Returns a list of active game objects, tag. Returns empty if no game object is found. Cannot turn it in. I don't get it. I don't get it. I really don't. Offset square. Okay. Offset. At this point, I really don't care. I'm just going to copy bits of code from other people. Okay, so they do have it under the fixed update. Boom. And then if... No, wait. Not attracted to. If distance, right? Distance. Boom. Embedded statement cannot be held to do. Alright. Maybe everything's too close together, because I know sometimes that can mess things up whenever they're like within a line of each other. That's why a lot of times people put everything two steps away instead of one step. Okay, so it's not gonna do by 0 or whatever. Why is that going up? Not. If that, then that, right? That's how it's supposed to work. No, it can't. The vector has to be. Alright, I'm just placing it in the wrong place. Got it. Boom. Boom. That needs to be there. That. goes there. Save. Put that to distance. Operands cannot be. Huh. So does that work? Still cannot be applied. So vector 3. Okay, so he's not setting it to that. Nope. That will be the offset squared. Strength of attraction. I don't know. Acceleration constant. Let's see if I can copy this bit of code and then cut it down to what I actually want. Rigid body, add force, strength of attraction. No capitalization in my version of strength of attraction. What the heck? Public float, strength of attraction. The O is capital. That is a weird way that I had that set up. Guess this is what happens when you don't really know too much about this stuff. Times RV mass and divided by whatever that right there is, or no, that right there is going to be, that right there is going to be I'm just going to nickname it dist. Divided by dist. And so that's that. It's going to be a float. So float dist. Float dist. Then it's going to be dist equals distance dot square magnitude SQR magnitude. So, and that's going to be distance normalized. Well, there doesn't appear to be any errors, so I'm going to save that. Switch us over to that. And let's see if this code works. Because this is definitely something that should work, right? I didn't make it. It'll have a better chance of assigning, right? Rigid body force, assign attempt for particles, not valid. Input force is nye. Nice. What did I do wrong? I know what I did wrong. It's not supposed to be back over there. So that is not supposed to be that. This is supposed to be that. Paste that there. I think I'm just going to completely get rid of direction. Hopefully that doesn't come to bite me in the butt. But should be working for now anyway. Just an unnecessary piece of text moment. So if I get rid of it, then hopefully stuff will work. Just gonna switch you over there so you can witness this. Did it work? Did it work this time? It was passing about before. And there it is, constantly on camera. Does it accelerate? They're rotating a whole bunch. I think they are, in fact, going faster when they get closer. So let's see. Look at this again. Honestly, hard to tell. I'm gonna have to move them further away. Real far away. Huh. They apparently passed each other. Interesting. A little bit closer. Hey, it's really glitchy. That is hum. That is something. That is certainly something. I think they are now in orbit around each other. I'm gonna set this one's mass to 10. Go ahead and see how that works. Pause and restart it. Let's see what happens when one of their masses is 10 and one of their masses is a lot lower. That is, that is a bug and a half. I mean, we got it functioning. That's something. But, yeah, pretty sure it isn't supposed to do that. But it works. And I'm very much so happy about that. Offset, make it realistic through the vision. Yeah. Strength of attraction times the offset normalized divided by the distance multiplied by the mass. But that mass is just the mass of the first object. No? Oh, because each of them has their own attraction. So because of the fact that it's multiplied by the mass, the one's going to be attracted to the other at its mass, and the other one's going to be attracted to it at its mass. Now that we got it functioning, albeit somewhat glitchy, let's see how having 3 particles takes this. Will this offset the other two's rotation? No. Just going to start circling around as well. What the? They just keep going in bigger and bigger circles around each other. Actually, well, not like bigger and bigger, but keep just spazzing out randomly. And I don't know why. Wait, this one's mass never got set to 10. And let's see what happens when its mass is set to 10. And this one is having fun time spazzing out. Okay, I'm going to set their size to be bigger. Have some nice big spheres to actually see what's happening here when they're glitching out. Alright, so the fact that they're glitching out, I think, is just You're so small. Huh. Why are they getting pushed around? Oh, it's because the two are attracting to the one. So if I delete that one, then these two should just hit each other and then... Aww. The particle with the bigger mass just keeps pushing the particle with the lesser mass out of the way. Right. Because it weighs more, and since they're pulling toward each other, and the pulling isn't really it's like kind of by distance, not really, and I don't know why. I'm gonna make it a slightly more precise formula. Make the make it so that if the distance is like lesser, then it'll stop as well. But, okay, so let's go ahead and see. Their colliders are working fine. It's the formula does not take into account the fact that it's going from the center of their positions. So no matter how close they are, it'll always be somewhat off. So they'll keep attracting to each other, and whichever one has more mass is just going to push the other out of the way. So if I just be sure that one's already moved off kilter of it, but just to make sure that it's off kilter. Yeah, it's just pushing it like slowly in whatever direction they are. It's going to keep pushing it in whatever relative direction because of the fact that it weighs 10 times as much. If I set them to 1, then they should both just hit each other and then stop. And nothing should happen. Yeah, nothing happens as a result of it. Alright, so we got basic gravity set up. Now the main problem with this is, again, it's one object. Can't be doing that exactly. So stable gravity, that code. Originally up there. All generate based on low intensity. Field modifications. This guy's using a different float name and stuff. Relative weight. Will be derived from a calculation involving the object's volume and density, but for now it's entered in from the inspector. First one, not the second one. That's still that. Make the gravity realistic. That's still basically the same thing. Yeah, he's basically doing the same thing as me right now. Except he's using the variable relative weight. Which I don't know. I guess that's replacing the strength of attraction. Well, at least I got it functioning, and it seems to be gravity-like in the way that it functions. If I make one of them smaller, so if one's like half the size in every axis, they still attract to each other, the relative thing. So you got mass, you got the strength of attraction, which is basically density. So you know what? I might change that to density as well. That's easier to type. Density, and then strength of attraction there. Density. So I changed it to density. Now I have to make density actually manage, like make it actually worth it. So this guy is using it as what? What is he setting it to? Searching for its tag. So public phone. Guess I switch this over to there because that's what I'm working on. So have that the float, public float density, that. So the fact that it's a public means that it's able to be changed to different things. It'll be density times density times distance divided by the square magnitude of it times mass. And distance is obviously just set at the distance. Square magnitude returns the squared length vector. I wish I would have known that a while ago, because that would have solved me a lot of headaches with the squaring and dividing and stuff. I could have made my own formula that does basically the same thing. Is there another type of square? Let's see, square root. Got square magnitude. Distance. Square. Dash root. No. So there's no rooting of it. Not allowed to root it. You got block. You name that the target object, but want it to be anything with a specific tag. Anyone else added on to that? No. Okay, so this is the finality of what they've developed, is what I have now, basically. Plus what all the stuff that I had previously. I don't think there's anything else I can even grab from off of here, because it's got that. Yeah, okay, so there's nothing else for me to grab from them, I do not think. Right? Yeah. So instead of it being a game object, it wants to be a float, I think is what they have it as. That's the only difference I see so far. Yeah, but if it's a float, then everything doesn't work properly. Yeah. No. It's okay, so it's not public. Just object attracted to. Okay, no. No. So if I would have just said it the game object attracted to, what that would have done is that I just opened something I didn't mean to open. What that would have done is that would have made it so it's a specific name. I don't want it to be a specific name, though it could possibly be. Is there a game tag? Game. No. Tag. No. Property attribute. Property. No definition from Transform. Yeah. Public game object attracted to public foot density. Hmm. So you got the public float, you got the game object. So since you got set up like that, the way it works is how. This would really be a whole lot better if it weren't this. Hmm. Yeah, it is really hard figuring out this stuff. Absolute pain. Hmm. So vector offset. Everything I have here better, if not equivalent to, what they have there. Nothing more to learn off of that page. So the question is, what do I have to learn to make this function properly? Because it doesn't function properly. Public game object that I can change variable, but it's a game object. So the game object attracted to it always has to be set to a specific one. Can I set it to multiple game objects? Let's see. How do I get multiple game objects? Game object. Unity. Scripting AI game object. Eh. New game object named by that name. Compare tag. Is this game object tagged with a tag? So, as far as I can tell, this can only be applied between two different objects, one object attracting to the other. Unless I set more attracted to variables. Which means that I would have to create one for every single object in the entire thing. Which is something that ain't happening. Find object of type. Find objects of type. Seems like it might be a good one. Find objects of type. Attracted to. I'm not converting from string to two. Do I need to remove those? And will it work? Does not exist. Attracted to. Cannot convert from Unity game object to system. So hinge velocity tag. Seems like tag would be the best thing to use, but it doesn't seem to function properly whenever I try to use it. So that can be used to identify a game object. Tags must be declared in the tags and layers manager before using them. So where's the tags manager? Switch back over to here. Tags manager. Edit project settings tags. All right. Well, that obviously is an outdated location for it. Tags and I was looking in the wrong thing. I have no idea how my brain even thought I was in the right place, but I wasn't. All right. Attracted to without a capital T. See if that works. So simple. I don't even know whether I'm using C+ or not. I think I'm using the C+ thing. Right. So components tag. Tag can be used to identify a game object. Auto behavior point example. Debug log transform tag. No. Is plus tag. I don't know what it wants from me. Hmm. Attracted to is what? Find game object. Attracted to without thing. No, I don't want the capitalized T. Different. Not the same. Cannot apply type game object. Game object. You cannot apply game object to a game object. Cool. Alright. Public. Tag. Game. Not game. How do you reference it? It doesn't even tell me. Annoying. Text and layers. Details. Whatever. So if I go back to the Unity engine, which I just realized we've been on the same time, you've not been seeing me mess around with the code. Okay. Professional right here. So tag attracted to. Tag attracted to. Game. I need that to be a game object. I can't make it a tag because of what it has to be. Remove the public because I think that's probably messing it up. There's game object, find objects with tag attracted to. The method, which is not given context. Okay. Here, so messing with. Is there a quick fix for this? Tag attracted to. There we go. That should work, right? No. Why does it still not work? I don't get it. What is wrong with it? I don't. It doesn't make any sense. Why didn't work? Why I have mid? It's only game. Find object with tag attracted to. That's what it's supposed to do. Why ain't it doing it? And as usual, the whatever that kind of tutorial this thing is supposed to be isn't helpful at all. Model behavior should be all of the things, and then fixed update is the thing that I'm using. Let's see if I can find anything in here. Public rigid body, RB equals a component rigid body, add force, 10F times vector 3 up. That is something that I know. That is putting an force to push something up by a variable. But why isn't it working when I do stuff like this? Why can I get a tag? It's not mentioning a tag anywhere here. Like, ha. Alright, here's the thing. Game object find with tag. So that works. I'm gonna save that. I'm going to see over here what the heck happens when I activate this thing. There's a distinct possibility of absolute failure. What just happened? Let me just go ahead and look at this for a second. Alright. They both have the same mass, they both have the same things. Why is one attracted to the other, but the other one isn't attracted to that? Ah! Just that one attracted to that one, and so it sends it into space. Okay. Why? Let's see, if I untag both, does it still attract to it? No. If I tag this one, should be attracted to it again, right? Yes. Okay. How about if I tag this one? Yes. Why can't I tag multiple? How do I get multiple game objects? A lot of this stuff is literally just me, like, not knowing one or two things that I should probably know. But since I don't know programming that well, and I don't know how Unity functions that well, I am not able to do this properly. I don't get it. Why isn't it functioning? Just gonna go ahead and put those on there, because why not? Maybe I should mess around with the material for a little bit. Bounciness, 1. Friction combine, multiply. Bounce combine, multiply. Let's see what that does to it. Boing. 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 Keeps launching it. Which is, I guess, kind of accurate, but not multiply probably. Like maybe maximum friction average. See how that works. Right, so bouncing back and forth. So the bounciness being 1 probably isn't entirely good. So maybe minimum on 1. Friction combine multiply. See how that goes. Hmm. 2 slider. Static friction 1. Dynamic friction 1. Bounciness 1. Functionality 0. So it keeps bouncing it back and forth. If you look at the relative thing, it looks like it's just getting closer and closer and further by the exact same amount every single time. I think that's what the 1 bounciness is doing. Set it to 0.9. How does that function? It seems to almost be like... like trying to aim myself at it. The camera all the way back. Too far. Zoom out. I think I may have messed it up just a little bit. Like, as in, zoomed out way too much. Alright, that seems good. Yeah, messing around with stuff. Okay. So, anyway, back over to the programming. So, a way to find multiple. Theory exception does not exist. Returns 1 active game object with the tag. So if I go back up to game object, is there a find? Yes, find game objects with tag. So how is this one supposed to be used? It looks like it's supposed to be used the exact same way. But it obviously isn't, because it doesn't work that way. For whatever reason, it's just like, nope, don't work. Or wait, do I just have to this literally all at once? Man. Really? Right. Does not contain a definition for transform. Right. That's going to mess that up because that can only be a single one. So... What? What's fork? Attracted to doesn't have a transform whenever I do that, but I can't get multiple if I don't have that. It's not going to function properly or anything if it doesn't. So hmm. Attracted does not exist in the current context. Now? Oh. Hmm. Hmm. Create local attracted. Change attracted to attract. No. That is the name of this. That doesn't function either. Doesn't have transform position either. So can't use that. I want to use a class there. I want to use a local variable. So attracted to is given a local object by the fact that it's named attracted to. Game object that in that, then it's able to use that. All game instantiates one prefab at the location of all game objects tagged respawn. Object respawns if respawns equals null. If attracted to equals null. I'm just like adding random pieces. This is really just trial and error. It's just adding a whole bunch of random code that I think will work. For each Hmm. Goes equals find it. Attack enemy. Go in goes. It's able to access it. What the heck is all this supposed to be? A lot of this is what I have. Some of it isn't what I have. Hmm. Find game objects with tag, distance, equals. For each game ball, go and goes. And I put in for each game object attracted in attracted to. Yeah. That functions, but the fixed update can't access. It needs to be in the fixed update, I think. Right? There. Right. Why not? Not gonna function properly. Any of those things. Like either create a new field, which isn't gonna properly work, or nothing. Apparently. Right. How about posting that there? Like it fits best there. Because it functions there. But it doesn't function down here. It doesn't function anywhere. It's not functionality based. Doesn't work. Why? I don't get it. Why isn't it working? I'm stuck on this. Search for game objects with a tag. get it because it functions in this. Let's see. I equal. No, just make something random. Equals attracted. Attracted does not exist in the current context. Well, then why doesn't exist in the context of you doing it in literally your tutorial for this thing, and it doesn't work? I don't get it. They're not even putting it inside of the fixed update, I guess, which is their thing. Like, they're not putting it in the fixed update. Maybe if I don't put it in the fixed update, and I put it over here, maybe it'll work. Nope, now neither one of them works. I don't get it. Really don't. How is it supposed to work? Because I have to have the game objects. In order to have the game objects, I need to have that. I can't get the transform of the object or objects that I want to attract to. I guess it's because I would need each individual object would have to have its own thing. Thing that I'm not getting. So this stuff is supposed to go inside the start, as far as I'm aware. And then doesn't properly function. I tried to add it in. Maybe I need to add some of these and paste it in. No, it's why isn't it working? Alright, fine. I'll create a... What do I even want to create? A field? Property? Let's see. What should attracted be? A property, a field... Let's say I make it into... Yeah, then it doesn't have a transform on it. Doesn't attracted exist in the... Did I spell one of them wrong? A. In attracted to. There we go. Can't spell it wrong. Not that. What is with? Why is it wrong? What is wrong with this? Boy, do I know it should work. I don't get it. Functionality. That doesn't exist. see. Game object attracted. Let's see if this functions at all. Because I have a feeling it's not going to. But I'm going to try it anyway. I don't really know what else to do. Yep, Mark. Maybe I should make this one public. There, save that again. Try this again. There we go. Started to try and put it up. Alright, let's go. Probably not going to work again. Yep, not working. See how that functions. I really don't know. It's not working, and doesn't look like it's showing any chance of working in any regard. Because in order to get multiple objects, really don't know. Well, this seems to be basically just not gonna happen. In any regard, not gonna happen. Because just either one way, it's not registering the variable, and if I just create the variable, then it doesn't function properly because different things. Let's see, local variable game object attracted. Name attracted. Boom. Variable attracted. Sure, why not? Maybe that was my problem. Maybe I need to put this in here then. But I doubt that'll actually function. Let's see, if I remove the game object attracted, does that still function? Yes, it does. Okay. Well, the problem with that is I have to move it over here. And if I move it over there, I'm not sure if it's going to work. Because it's saying distance doesn't exist in the current context. So I'd have to put all of this into here. Let's see. Back over. It's doing it. Wait. Add another one. Might be too good to be true. Did I create a multiple particle physics engine? I did. I did it. I'm a genius. I'm the best. You're the best around. No one's ever gonna bring you down. You're the best around. I did it. I created a multiple particle physics engine. I did it. It stopped for whatever reason. I don't care. I did it. I now can add as many particles as I want to this, and it can render them all separately. Well, to the limits of my computer, obviously, but I've created a multiple particle physics engine, which all the particles can actually function as normal particles would, and they're objects. I am very much so chuffed with this. Okay. Saving scene. Saving project. Save everything. Alright. I'm going to delete some of those and set it back to a normal, or the tiny size that I had. Let's see if it still functions at a very small scale. Alright, let's see how the tiny particles work. You know, I guess that is kind of accurate. Like, that is kind of how atoms work. It's just a whole bunch of extremely tiny particles, and they just, like, fly all over the place, like, instantaneously. Like, on the macro scale, they fly around really, really fast. It's just we never see it because, yeah. Because it's like if you were to stretch out an atom, it would be just absolutely massive, but they're never going to hit each other because of the fact that there's so many particles all attracting each other. But I did it. I made a physics engine that I've seen hundreds of people have tried to make this online, and I did it. No one else made it. I did. I did it. People have gotten close in different ways, but I actually created an engine in which multiple particles can have true gravity and actually properly function. Okay, so I'm going to set these things to maybe around 10 times the size. Alright, see how these interact at 1/10 the size. What? I'm sorry, what? What? Where and why is this thing getting launched 50 miles? Holy cow. I'm sorry, but what? Okay, so it's a physics engine. It works some of the time. Doesn't always work properly. Yeah. Maybe some problems with smaller objects functioning in this engine, but yeah. Oh, okay. Let me just load it back up. Let's see. Don't save. All right. So back to this. This functions properly, probably because it's on the macro scale. It is able to work. So they're all attracted to each other. So every single thing I give the attracted to set of things, it will attract. So I could create a new 3D object, make it a cube, give it the tag attracted to as a box collider, so I believe it does. It needs a rigid body. It needs to not be parented as well. Needs component, add, or component, physics, rigid body, done. and make sure it doesn't have any gravity on it. Angular drag, none, because I like to see everything spazzing all over the place, because why not? And run, and that cube should also be attracted. Slight problem there. It didn't get attracted. Why didn't that happen properly? What am I missing here? Oh yeah, collision detection needs to be continuous for one. I forgot to add the script to it. D. I am a genius. I create massive script for physics engine, and I forget to add it onto the object. So it functions real well. Yeah. But I made it. I did it. I have made a physics engine which particles of all shapes and sizes can function with. And it doesn't actually appear to be incredibly laggy. You know, incredibly so. Script, tract. Two. So why was it oh, because that thing's like so bloody far away. Why the heck is it all the way down there? Here. Here. There we go. That won't, like, just fly across the universe towards everything. It'll just, like, slightly bounce towards each other. Yeah. I'm able to have a whole bunch of different things, and they all attract to each other. I am really happy that I made this, because this, I took, like, 3 hours of time off of the stream. In a different time, I was working on this, which is, like, obviously, this wasn't the first time I had started this thing up. I had the, like, particles set up. I had the small gravity set up, but it wasn't accurate gravity. So, literally, in an hour and a half, we had made more progress than I made in 3 hours. Or, it was more than that, actually. It was, like, 4 or 5, but in a lot more time. Just 1.5 hours. Boom! Knocked it out. Got it all working. I am really chuffed about this. So, we have a particle engine. So basically, at this point, I could make something like Universe Sandbox. Boom, right there. Universe Sandbox could be made. And, well, this basically is Universe Sandbox for me at this point. It's just a matter of would be getting that into the game. Yeah. I don't completely suck at making stuff in this. So yay. But I think honestly, that is a lot more progress than I expected to make. Because most of this was just getting the particle engine up. I don't know. Obviously, like, the game creating prospect from this point on would be a whole lot different. I would be, wonder if I make one of the particles massive. If it still has the same kind of attraction. Let's see, size 10 by 10 by 10. So obviously I'm going to want the mass to be 10, and the density is going to be the same. What happens if I have an object with much greater mass than everything else nearby it? It just smashes them out of the way. Holy cow. Okay. I think I still need to work on how the mass functions. Because it's attracting to everything else, by the amount, I think I just found why, because I still had extraneous things from distance. Wait. Yeah, I just had an extraneous add force. If I get rid of that in the code of the physics engine, starts, there we go. So now it's starting to load up the new engine, which should purely just be the gravity of everything. So before it was actually adding extra forces beyond the gravity. It's so slow now. It's really cool. Now everything's just not just like spazzing around the universe. This thing is slowly moving towards them, and they're getting slowly pulled towards it. Question, is it relative to the mass at all? Because definitely moving slow. Let's see if I set it like right there instead. While it's moving. It just smashes them out of the way. They're pulling it. Let's see, if I set this thing's mass to like 1,000, then what if I set its density to 10 times? Well, I set the density to 10 times. It doesn't appear it's being attracted towards them at a greater rate. So it looks like I need to adjust how the mass and density figures inside my engine work. Because density is just a multiplier of whatever the distance is. The density actually is lowering it? Let's set the density to 1. So it does seem to be incredibly slow, but that's how gravity functions in real life as well. It's not very fast, especially on the scale at which we're kind of doing this. So okay, so they're not attracted to the big object that much. That's the problem. So the big object is moving incredibly slow with a density of 1. That's like the density is opposite of what it should be. If I set the density of something to like 50, it should have really low density in how it functions. Yeah, it's like going towards everything incredibly fast. Okay, so that's a problem. So the density is just affecting how fast something is attracted towards other things. That's the gravitational constant. I never want to change that. Changing the gravitational constant would be just detrimental to everything that functions. That essentially is a useless figure at the moment. Let's see, if I set the defaults of the figure to higher, does it change anything? Like, that make it so that everything's just like massively attracted towards each other now? Everything's density should be 50. But if it's set to 5, I'm going to guess everything is going to be incredibly slow. Yeah. It seems to be just about as slow as it was before. Alright. So, density isn't functioning properly, and the mass isn't functioning. So let's look again at gravity's formula. So the gravity formula is gravitational constant, which is what I have set to density. I'm going to set that to GC instead for the gravitational constant. The density is going to be gravitational constant, and by default it's going to be set to, I'll just leave it at whatever it was before, which I believe. Yeah, it was. So it's being multiplied the mass of the object times the mass of the other object. Or okay. Mass 1 times mass 2 divided by the distance squared equals the traction force of the two objects. So something about my equation that is incorrect at the moment is each object should only be attracted to the other object in of the amount of traction that the other object has towards it. So every single object should attract equally. But the mass is not slowing that down and then multiplying it back up. It's multiplying the attraction of both, but not slowing them down. If that makes any sense. So I need the mass of the attracted object also in the equation somehow, which I don't think I can do the attracted to mass. Yeah. Go ahead and switch it over to here. Do need get the attracted to mass. So I need gonna be another custom variable, probably RB2 mass. The rigid body RB2 equals get component rigid body of attracted. Name attracted doesn't exist in the current context. I need to put it in there. Embedded statement cannot be a declaration or labeled statement. No overload for method get component takes one argument. Get component takes one argument. Any quick fixes? Generate method, act, get component, get components. Cannot convert. Can it convert from Unity game object to system collections generic list Unity engine? Pick components. Get component. Get type. Not gonna help at this point. Returns the component or type. Game. Touch. No, if it doesn't. Returns all components of the type game object. There's two overloads. It's just the same thing, except allowing us to place that in. Rigid body. Control of an object position through physics simulation. Yes. Interpolation. Can't use that. Not a class. I need that to be the rigid body of the second. Of whatever the attracted to objects are. So, not going to want to be a multiple component equation, I guess. One would say. So, no overload. Get Huh? I don't get what that even did. I'm just gonna save that, see if it runs. Not sure what that extra piece of code is supposed to do. Supposed to do something. Say that much. Alrighty, gone up there, alright. Load it up, hopefully. Let's see what happens now. Requested feature is not implemented. Not implement an exception. Why would I want to not implement an exception then? So, don't do that. I don't get how that's supposed to be a fix then. How is this supposed to fix it? A component game object attracted, throw new, not implemented. It's implemented. Alright, maybe if I change it to that, then it'll have a potential fix for this. No. That's asking for the same exact fix that it said before, except it doesn't show the other thing. Attracted slash transform. it just wants me to do that. Then those other ones are literally just changing it just in case it was something else. It's wanting me to do that. That's the actual fix. But it isn't a fix. It's just literally making it so, yeah, that piece of code doesn't work, so your entire engine is broken now. But that wouldn't make functionality. That is non-functional, and it is dysfunctional. I don't know why it wants that. Hmm. Hmm. Not implemented exception game object. Game object is a type which is not valid in the given context. Dot. Find objects of type. Cannot convert from method string. String component tag of this game object. How is that supposed to fix anything? I don't get how that's supposed to be a fix at all. Literally just like, oh yeah, it doesn't work? Yeah, it doesn't work. Okay, there's no problem here. It doesn't work. But if it doesn't work, then that's a problem. Not implemented exception attracted to. Doesn't make sense. Hmm. Maybe there's another sequence thing I can add. Mm-hmm. What to do? What to do? I don't know. How about you? There's a lot of coding I got to do. Component mass. So that gets the mass out of it. I just need to get to the rigid body of the attracted object, whichever that may be. Then again, would that even fix it? Because it would be multiplying their masses together to get one number that they're attracted by, which would give a force of, which would give a constant force. I can change the gravitational constant if I want to. I'll save that so it at least functions the way it is. And I'll go back over here. Go ahead and activate it. It should function just like it used to, in that everything's gravitationally focused. Yeah, so those objects fly all together, and it takes 50 years for this thing to actually get over there. Is there any way to go faster? Let's see, if I set everything's gravitational constant to very high number or whatever. If I set the mass back to 1, gravitational constant is normal, mass is 1, it should attract to the rest of them just like they're attracting to it. It's because it's so far away, it's not moving. If I were to set it over here, set its mass to 10, the mass doesn't even matter. The mass doesn't do anything, is the problem. So this thing's being pulled towards them faster than they're being pulled towards it. But it's going to push them out of the way because of the fact that it has greater mass. But if I were to change it, and if I set the mass to 1, yeah, then they stop it. So the problem here is the amount that the big object is being attracted to the little objects is a larger, should be a much stronger density. If I set the gravitational constant to 1, then it's not going to be attracted as much, and it's functioning inversely to how mass should actually function. But once they slam into it, they're going to move it back relative to their actual mass. So it's more or less just a workaround thing. So it's being attracted 3 times to them as they are to it. They're going to push it back because they have greater mass together. They have 3 times the mass of it, even though it's a lot bigger. Basically a not very dense object. And the gravitational constant should always be 5. I shouldn't have to touch it. But if I want it to function properly, the workaround is multiply gravitational constant and multiply the mass. Actually, I just go ahead and do this. And then set this to the gravitational constant. I'm not gonna switch the screens because it's gonna take like 2 seconds, but I'm switching what the gravitational constant and what the mass do to see if that helps the mass function properly. So if I set the mass to 100, then it should have 100 times the pull. But it should weigh 100 times as much. Now it's just the same kind of situation where it just pushes them out of the way. Alright, Huh. So,
Goodbye.
some multiplication. Multiplication of the distance traveled divided by the square distance. That's not how the formula actually goes, is it? If I want the formula to be accurate to how it functions in real life, I should probably work on getting this formula to be the same way. So I got the squared, but I need the square root. So the normalized distance magnitude of 1. What is magnitude in... Alright, so it's the mass of one times the mass of other divided by the distance squared multiplied by gravitational constant. So, I have the gravitational constant multiplied by the mass times the distance. Not how it's supposed to go. It's the mass. What I'm doing is the mass times the distance divided by the distance squared. So what I want is actually more like that, but it doesn't have a vector 3 if I don't have the other distance set in there. I need a vector 3 in there in order to just get the vector 3. Maybe if I create a new vector 3, vector 3 weight equals 1. Edit statement cannot be a declaration. I really need to just get rid of all the space in between the if and add force. Really messing me up a lot. Equals transform dot position times 0. So it should equal times 0 plus 1. Yeah, it's not right. So then remove distance normalized, add weight plus 1. Plus cannot be added to it. Times. But it's already times 0. Dot normalized. New. Let's see how this functions. I have no idea what it's actually going to do. Nothing moves. Good to know. So I believe there is a good reason then that exists like that. So I can't just change the variable there. For whatever reason, it needs the multiplied by distance normalized. I can't just add a random vector. I know why, because I need it on the same type of axis relative to the different objects that it's moving on, because it's not the same vector, and it can't move along the correct axis when it's doing that whole thing.
So that together right there, those two, that is the distance. But I don't know, or that's the direction it's going. That's the distance. I think is how this is supposed to work. So basically, ignoring the normalized version of the formula, because that's only the direction. I need the mass of the section object to be in there, and then everything else should be fine. The square magnitude of the distance between the two objects. So then, the closer they get, the stronger it gets. Right?
Yeah, because it's square rooting the divisor, so it's the inverse of what the distance is helping it move faster. Each of the poles of gravitational force is equal. Means that the gravitational constant, it should be fine.
It should be the same on every single thing. So the gravitational constant isn't something I want to even be able to change.
It's just going to be a float that exists.
It's not going to be changeable anymore in here.
Once I get this set up correctly, I shouldn't have I don't have the choice anymore. Just that is the gravitational constant. I'm going to set it to whatever the heck I want. I'm just going to leave it at 5 for now. And that's going to be that. So, honestly, I can set it whatever the heck I wanted. Setting it at 1
doesn't do anything to have it
different. It's a variable based around that number. So when it is changed, then it matters. But it's just going to be itself. Never like that. Alright. See.
Add force times GC. No, I don't need to multiply. Final capitalize it, makes it happy. Happy now. Why is it not happy now? Encapsulate field and use property. What? No. Why would I? That's just unnecessary. Why would I do that? I don't get it. Why would you do that? That'd make it public, but other than that, it doesn't actually help at all. Gravity field needs reverse object. Hmm. Anyway, back to the formula. You know what? I think I'm just gonna get this thing back to a functional point. This is functional as is. Right? Everything's functional. There we go. It's trying to change. Alright. Everything is functional in this design. It's just mass doesn't function properly. That is the problem with it. So it just gets pulled along at a constant rate because of the fact that they can't get any closer. It's going to keep launching them out. Alright. So what I might do is I might make this that like every single particle is just a particle, and then objects are made out of all these particles, which again would be incredibly laggy. Like if I were to just take this particle, what happens if I duplicate the particles and they're inside of each other? What is it? How does the physics engine handle that? Okay, they just glitchily pop outside of each other. And if there's 5 inside of it, it just launches them straight up. And then they don't have enough gravitational force to pull themselves back. And that's like a Big Bang kind of thing. At least how that's theorized to go. Okay, so that one there. That one there.
What are you watching, Chris?
That one there. That one.
Are you being
there.
nutty over there?
Right, so you got all those particles, and they'll just all bounce together. Actually, doesn't seem to be like that laggy at all. It's like once it starts the render, then it's good. Yeah, but anyway, I think we made a fair amount of progress on this. I'm just gonna go ahead and save everything, and I think we'll call it a day. So, thank you everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. God bless you all.